President Bola Tinubu has signed a strategic cooperation agreement with his Turkish counterpart, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, to strengthen ties between both countries. Erdogan has welcomed President Tinubu with an official ceremony in the capital, Ankara. Tinubu's motorcade was greeted by 103 cavalry units on the avenue leading to the presidential complex, symbolizing the 103rd anniversary of the Turkish Republic. The ceremony was attended by senior Turkish officials, including ministers, presidential advisors, and the Ankara governor. Now, to discuss this, we're joined by a journalist with Turkish online newspaper TR724, Türkmen Terzi. Now, Türkmen, thank you for joining us. Can you just talk to us and describe the significance of Nigeria's recent visit to Turkey in the context of bilateral relations?
Yes, this is a very important visit, I think, I can say for Turkey. I am sure for Nigeria as well. Because especially Erdogan government declared 2005 as a year of Africa. So Erdogan government increased the embassies from 11 to now more than 40 in the continent. So Erdogan's focus is Africa. Especially Nigeria is a very important country for Turkey because of its population, also because of its energy, petrol resources. Also, Turkey is an export-oriented country. Turkey export the now defense items, the home appliances, furnitures, automotives. So machinery, steel, chemical. Also, Nigeria buying from Nigeria crude oil and some agriculture items. Also, Turkey see Nigeria for the one of the gateway to the continent, because Turkey is competing in the continent, for instance, with South Africa or with Egypt. But Nigeria is for Turkey is more neutral partner. Also, Turkey has very historical ties with Nigeria since the Ottoman time. This is So also you are the one of the leading economy. Time to time is the biggest economy in the continent, and you are the very special position also in ECOWAS, also in African Union. So this is very important for Turkey. Also for Nigeria, as you are dealing with the security issues, Boko Haram and ISWAP and other groups. So I think you need strategic partnership with Turkey. Nigeria's defense minister visited Turkey, the then defense minister, a few months ago. I think they signed the defense agreement. So this is the last time Erdogan visited Nigeria in 2016 and 2021. So this is the reciprocal visit of President Tinubu to Ankara. They are now, I think, going to a very strategic relation.
Right. So, Türkmen, in what way, apart from what you've mentioned, does Turkey benefit strategically, economically, or politically from strengthening its relationship with Nigeria?
Yes. Turkey is, as I said, competing the export-oriented country. So Turkey competes with China and especially in India and the European Union in the continent. So Nigeria's close relation with Nigeria is very important for Turkey. So also for defense export is very important. Turkey also wants its petroleum industry to have a relation with Nigeria. But Turkey has been focused. Turkey's focus was more humanitarian in the continent. But recently it is shift from humanitarian to hard power. So Turkey is now has a permanent base in Libya. So Turkey protected Trablus against Haftar forces. And Turkey support Ethiopian government, support drones. So the armed group couldn't take over the capital of the Addis Ababa. So Turkey also now based in the Somalia. Turkey is a major player. So you also need Turkey's defense. But for my opinion, this visit, I think, is happened with the advice of the President Trump, U.S. President Trump, because Turkey is a NATO country, and Turkey has very close relation. Erdogan developed very close relation with the Trump. Trump recently helped you for the military strike to the armed group. So I think this is also come with the Trump advice. This is my sources told me. This is I think they are going to have a very strategic relation. And Turkey first opened the embassy in 1962, and then since then all your former president visited Turkey. So they are also now, Erdogan told in the press conferences, the bilateral relation is $2 billion now. Is they are going to targeting the $5 billion. But of course, Turkey's relation hasn't not started with Erdogan. Before Erdogan also, some Turkish NGOs, Turkish private companies, education institutions, they were running active in the Nigeria.
Right.
Yes.
So, Türkmen, in all of this situation and the cooperation and the relationship they're trying to build, how long or how soon do you think we'll begin to see this relationship and this partnership pan out?
Yes, it can be, so fast, because Turkey lost many markets in the Europe and in the Middle East and in Asia. So the Africa is priority for Turkey. Also, you need Nigeria, I think, needs Turkey for defense support. But as also explained to you, the Turkish Erdogan is an Islamist leader. Like Turkey is mostly used to be a democratic and secular country, but with the Erdogan, it is now more like Erdogan government is more Islamist. So Erdogan government also supported lots of armed group against the Assad. The Erdogan actually the main power toppled the Assad. So from that way also Erdogan involved lots of issues. Erdogan government involved lots of controversial issues also. But Turkish defense firm, the Bayraktar is the main defense companies belong to son-in-law of the Erdogan. That's why Erdogan promoting these defense companies in Africa. In 25 countries already using Turkish drones. It is very strategic. Also, some other private defense companies is exporting to the continent. Turkey will be a very strategic partner for Nigeria, because Turkish products are very quality and then reasonably cheaper than the European products, but is a good quality. This visit, I think, is will give lots of fruits. The strategic relation is going to be established. But as I told you, this visit also is not just Erdogan's initiative. Also, it is, I think, is Trump's advice. So Erdogan is hosting your president.
Well, thank you so much, Türkmen Terzi, for joining us and giving us insight as to the situation. And of course, we'll continue to follow up, and hopefully, the relationship goes well. Thank you.